Hey, everybody. What? There's people on already? Holy schmoly. Were you guys just like waiting for me? How is everybody? Happy Sunday. Let me get into the group and hope everybody's all right. I'm a little bit tired myself. It's been kind of crazy. Eddie's here. Hey, Wendy, Hasim, Sunshine, Jenny. Hello, hello. Charles, hello. Fu Manchu, Patricia, Beth, hello, hello. Justin, Nick, hello. We've been one of the byproducts of doing these live streams is that I think I'm getting better at uh, usernames. Hey, Brett, Kristen, anonymous user, Pat's homeless journey. Oh my gosh, you got to tell me, Pat, tell me what your channel's about. Raycon, hello. Jeff, hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? So the last couple of Sundays, we've lived. Hey, Ellie. Hi, Dolly. We have live streamed from Derek's tent community, and it just wasn't really working great. So I almost did it again tonight, but I figured you guys got a good idea. I mean, I was wrecking my brains trying to get a better quality stream. So I forgot my cord for my mic. How's the audio? Is it okay? No exit. I am sorry. Jenny, I am glad you're here too. Beth, I don't understand your question. You said, how do I think of other Western countries have followed suit on U.S. homeless statistics? You're going to have to explain that a little better. Sound is good. Cool. Addie is right. The best way to talk to me is probably at hardly normal. Hola, Renee. Vision. All right, Carlos. Oh, Pat, I'm sorry to learn that you're being evicted, and I'm sorry to learn that there's a family involved. It's so sorry. Happens so many times. Hiding in your apartment. You need to get out more. Okay, I get what you're talking about. The criminalization, maybe it's kind of weird. I give a lot of pushback from my Canadian friends. Hey, Derek, just like I saw you a couple hours ago. Before I go into that, I just want to thank Derek. He's just been such a kind host, putting up with me and my madness and my really funky hair. I'm trying to grow my hair long again. I do this every now and then. And I just want to thank him. Oh my gosh, that's even worse. But I think it was Beth asked the question. I get a lot of pushback from my Canadian friends that work in homeless services because I don't believe anymore that we're going to end homelessness. I just don't. I believe we can. I know we should. We've known for years how to. I just do not see us agreeing on solutions to end homelessness. I just don't see it. At least not in my lifetime. I like to be a glass half full thinker. So I want to believe the younger generations will end homelessness. They'll fix all this. But what I get hiding in my apartment. I'm Canadian. Hello. Um, is I have some friends that work in the homeless services sector in Canada, and I love them dearly. And they're very adamant that they're going to end homelessness. So there's like some really cool stuff going on, in Canada, as far as some housing policy and stuff. But my I hope it's not just talk. Canadian friends, and it seems like they may have their act a little more together, but then again, the criminalization still pops up. Good question, though, and it is what's happening in Canada and the United States, also Great Britain. There's a lot of similarities. Hey, Heather, I'm sorry your mom is homeless. Super Horseman 22. People do not choose to be homeless, Super Horseman. Guess what? There's this thing called a bathroom, indoor plumbing, toilets, refrigeration, Netflix, although you can get Netflix from your phone. Um, Toilets are like really neat. Showers, oh my gosh. I I cherish showers. Nobody intentionally says, I'm going to walk a mile every day for water, not shower for weeks and shit outside. Nobody says that, it's this crazy belief that people hold on to. And I assume that you hold on to that homelessness is the fault of the homeless person. So I just put up a video of Heather. She was on a bus at 18 years old. There was an armed robbery suspect on the bus. The police came on the bus and a gunfight took off. Heather got hit in the back and she's disabled. Cannot work. She didn't choose to live in a tent in San Francisco. She can't get this disability. I mean, already the comments are like, why doesn't she have disability? Why doesn't she have disability? Majority of people that apply for disability are turned down, even if like they have limbs missing. If you look at Robert on Invisible People, he lost his leg and he can't get disability. So this idea that people want to live outside and go through hell and be harassed by police and be spit on by the public is just insane. King Leon, thank you very much. So Beth, you just mentioned Reagan. I don't know if you saw the video that me and Paul did. I highly recommend it. It's not safe for work. Paul swears a lot. I swear a little. Um, So hiding in my apartment, I am sorry that you've had a bad experience with homeless people. It's funny that I don't want to say it's funny because it's not funny. Um, we've all had bad experiences with other people. Some of them been homeless, some of them been not. I've been ripped off by good friends far more than I've been ripped off by homeless people. Yet we automatically just associate, well, because they're homeless. So my new one is that people so often now think homeless people are criminals or drug addicts or criminals. They can't be trusted. Enron, Bertie Madoff, rich white men have ripped off people far more than all the homeless people combined. Far more. But when we see a wealthy white guy walking down the street of San Francisco or Los Angeles, do we go criminal? But the chances are they're more of a criminal than the homeless people you see. But yet, because we've stereotyped that homeless people, so you get the point. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I remember driving down Sunset Boulevard, and there was a homeless person panhandling, and a woman in a car in front of me, and the homeless person started pounding on her car, and it must have scared the heck out of that woman. And I just put my head down. I mean, I can't even imagine what she's going through. But then you also have to imagine what the homeless person is going through. I mean, maybe it's drugs, maybe it's mental illness, maybe it's starving, haven't had food in a long time and desperate. One of the worst things, and I'll talk about this. So I've been in San Francisco now a little over 2 weeks. I've seen stuff here I've never seen before. Never, ever in my life have I seen, and I do a little bit of traveling, and I go to all the bad places. You know what? I'm going to say something right now while it's at the heads for anybody that happens to be watching. The biggest criticism people have of me and Invisible People, they think I founded this so I could travel. You know what I did today? Did I go to Alcatraz or the ferry building or the Golden Gate Bridge? No, I went to a tent city. I've been in San Francisco for 2 weeks. I haven't taken a day off. The most touristy thing I have done is I've eaten pho, and pho isn't really San Francisco touristy, but for me, there's no good pho restaurants where I am back home. So that is touristy. I work 16-hour days. I'm not paid. I don't get a day off. I go to all the bad neighborhoods. I don't go and do anything. Like, I've been to London a bunch of times, and the only touristy thing I've ever done is fish and chips. Have I hung out with homeless people in London? Yes. Have I tried my best to help homeless people in London? You bet ya. Have I gone on the London Eye? No. I don't do anything touristy. So this idea that I work nonstop to travel all over the place, to go to poor areas of a city to hang out with homeless people is really kind of insane. It's, I believe, spurred from jealousy. People see me traveling and they go, gosh, I wish I could travel. You can. All you have to do is sacrifice your life, basically. I mean, if I had kids, I wouldn't be able to do this. God's honest truth. Work hard, give your all, be willing to work without any money, be able to work 7 days a week, 12 to 16 hours every day, do it for 11 years, and you can do it too. So anyways, back to some things I haven't seen before. And I was walking here in the Tenderloin, and that's the poverty area. And there was a homeless person who was an addict, and he was using the passenger side of a car window, passenger window. The homeless person was outside the car was parked, and he was using the mirror to shoot up in his neck. Now, I've seen people shoot up in their neck before, but what happened, I've never seen before. So he's shooting up in his neck, and the mirror's there. And a well-dressed woman comes out of, some door, I assume her condo, and she walks over to the driver's side. Now, guy's still shooting up in his neck, okay? She walks over to the driver's side, unlocks the door, sits in the car, starts the car. The guy finally, goes back over to the sidewalk, and she drives away. And I had to look at both people. And why I say that is no human wants to be in a situation where they're using a car. They don't want to be in a situation where they're shooting in their neck in the first place. So there's a point where drugs take over, where you're no longer a human, where you don't have common sense anymore. No human person by choice with their own willpower would be shooting up in their neck. And then, especially in public, using somebody's, side mirror on their car. No, no. The other thing, and while I'm here, the other thing people don't understand, and I see this a lot in San Francisco, LA, and the other places, is heartbreaking. Yesterday, I saw three older women that looks kind of middle class, except they'd been out on the streets for a while. And the three of them are just on the sidewalk, and above them is a drug dealer. And he's just, handing them, I don't know what drug it was, but there's this element of people, criminals, not homeless people, but gang members that prey on the homeless. And they don't want them to get sober. They don't want them to change their life. And they just hover over them and give them drugs. So back to the story. Y'all with me still? I'll get back to the chat in a second. This woman gets in her car and drives off. She didn't freak out. I was freaking out watching it because I'd never seen it before. So I got to thinking about it, and you know what? It must be a common experience. It's happened to her before. If it hadn't happened to her before, I'm sure she would have freaked out. I mean, it's not every day. Well, maybe it is every day that you see an addict using your car side mirror to shoot up. So as a society, we've become anesthetized to it. It's an everyday occurrence that we have addicts and mental illness and disabled people living on the streets. Anyways, so cool. 158. Hi, everybody that joined. You got me in a rant. So, Mr. G, someday I hope to get to Hawaii. Back to the traveling thing. You know why I've never gone to Hawaii? Is two reasons. If I ended up by chance paying for it myself, if I was able to raise the money, people would just say, oh, you're just going to Hawaii. So I have to wait until most of my travel, like even here, YouTube is paying for me to be in San Francisco. Invisible People isn't. I mean, Invisible People is helping to produce some of this to augment the budget. But the reason I've never been to Hawaii is everybody would, he's only going to Hawaii to take a vacation. I wouldn't do anything touristy. I would be in poverty areas. I would work 12 to 16-hour days. And it's just crazy that that's the biggest criticism that people, and that because we have 260,000 subs that this channel makes a lot of money. In the community section, I posted a receipt from a couple months ago. And but anyways. So do you think teaching people trades for free can help? So I have a mixed emotion on that, or mixed feelings. In 4 years, trucks are going to drive themselves. Pharmacists are going to be one of the first to be replaced by computers. So what trade are we going to treat people? So I thought caregiving, I thought being able to take care of seniors was going to be the trade that we need to. I didn't think that computers would be able to take care of the elderly, but I saw the other day there's a robot being made to take care of seniors. So I don't know. Thank you, Jenny. I just get sometimes, I mean, it comes and comes and comes. And, I can talk about it now. I had a stalker, a harasser. I finally just got a restraining order on him. And that was his thing. He would always say, I just do invisible people because I want to travel. Thank you, Monkey. Hey, Randy, I'm glad you're a success story. Wow, 171. And I didn't even really share this out. I'm glad you guys are tuning in. Let's talk homelessness. So, Tony, I'm not really sure. I think they're going to have computers to fix computers. Beth Black, you're exactly right. I mean, one of the big things that's happening is there's no, I hate this term, the working poor, but there's no housing for people. I spoke to a woman, Mary Howe, runs a youth organization here, and she's having trouble finding workers because it's so expensive to live here. And then I saw in the news where people, that are doing, minimum wage jobs uh, are living 2 hours away from San Francisco because the cost. So they have a 4 hour drive or train ride or however you're commuting to come in and be a busboy in a restaurant. So they're having a huge, huge problem. So Francis, no, I do not. It's funny is that there's this fear mongering is what fear of yeah. This people are trying to spread the fear that there's going to be all these diseases and everything else. No, and there's always going to be diseases. My dad was telling me today, one of his co-workers, and this is 20, 30 years ago, upstate New York, where everything's nice. He was had a cottage by a lake, and he had a cut on his leg, and somehow when he was cleaning up, he got a bacteria that there's no antibiotic, and he died 2 weeks later. That's 20 years ago in upstate New York, far away from anything. So, yeah, there's public health crisis all over, and there always has been. I'll tell you, have you guys seen the movie Contagion? Now that is scary, and it has nothing to do with homelessness. That is scary. Watch Contagion. I mean, the whole antibiotic thing, it's all scary, scary. Thank you, Jenny. You're very kind. A spade, sadly, you are correct. Hey, Jessica. Yeah, it's really early across the pond. Hi, Red Angel. I've been there a couple of times. I hope to be back again. So, Mr. G, it's interesting. I don't know if you saw Cooper video, but I was out on the streets with Cooper yesterday, and she was asking me the same thing, and she's a homeless woman. And yes, safety is really important. I don't recommend anybody going out on the streets, handing out socks, doing hygiene kits, or doing what I do alone. I don't listen to my own advice a lot. um, So no exit, no problem. In the description, there's a documentary. I put it in there because my story's long. I repeat it almost every live stream. So there's a documentary. It's about an hour long. It airs on PBS, or it used to. And feel free to watch it, share it. Throw tomatoes at your screen. 178. Woo, thanks. And again, I tonight I don't have the right chords. So Derek, I don't have the. I should have reminded myself when I was at Derek's. At Derek's tent camp, he had the cord I needed for my mic, which I don't have here. I actually got up Heather's video right before this, and I got a bunch of other work that I got to do. I really want to get out there and handouts. Tomorrow's my last day in San Francisco. I'm again, I was talking about traveling. What would you do on your last day in San Francisco? Would you do the trolley? I've never done it. Would you do Alcatraz or all the tourists? No. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to hand out socks to homeless people all day long. That's all I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to eat pho. So, son, we've talked about this earlier. Nobody chooses to be homeless. Nobody chooses to be homeless. Just change your thinking. People choose. Well, you know what? I've got to change that. Some people, homelessness is a choice. It's a choice by us for not advocating for more affordable housing. We choose, but the homeless people don't. What people choose is bathrooms, refrigeration, air conditioning, outlets, privacy, locked door. Derek can tell you. Derek manages a tent city of 35, little shacks, tents, and there's no lock on any door. I was interviewing one of the girls there earlier, and somebody who just while she was sleeping came into her tent. People don't choose to shit outside on a regular basis. Okay. So we got to just stop. The leading cause of homelessness is the lack of affordable housing. It's not, oh my gosh, I'm going to go shit outside forever and walk miles for water and go without, showers for months and have people spit on me and call me names and be thrown out of every store and then go hungry when nobody goes. Nobody chooses that. I mean, it just blows my mind that people still think people choose to shit outside and go without showers and water and safety and security. Nobody chooses homelessness. Please tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell the people in your classroom. They're crazy if they think people choose to shit outside on a regular basis. I'm going to get that in a t-shirt. I've been thinking about swag. Should I just do that? Nobody chooses to shit outside. What do you think? Would you buy that t-shirt? Hi, Kat. Yeah, I know Amanda. She is. She's doing a YouTube channel. Doing really good. Hey, Chucker. Wow, my homeless friends would wear one of those t-shirts. I literally, if you guys got ideas, I'd like to have, you could do logos and you can do all this other stuff, but I want to have merch that, is really when people wear it, it fights homelessness. Thanks, son. I'm glad that you got that. So Fu Manchu, hey, total controls in the house. All right. Fu Manchu, people bring up Slab City a lot, and I hear, I'm an old hippie. I would love to go to Slab City, but I hear Slab City's gotten pretty dangerous. Galaxy wants my open borders opinion. If we close the borders or if we open them, it's going to have no influence on homelessness whatsoever. If you all think that, or if any of you think, because I know it's not you all, if you think that United States, if Trump built his wall and all that money would go to fight homelessness and we would end homelessness, that's kind of like a crazy thought. Homeless, go watch the video with Paul. I mean, if Total Control 871 liked that video, it's a good video, and it explains how much of this stuff is actually intentional. Did you know we have prisons that are for-profit prisons? Why do you think there's a war on drugs? To stop drug addiction or to make profit by filling up the prisons? Jessica, how everybody can help is advocate for more affordable housing. I mean, we have to. I want to be like, how AOC says that she still believes. I want to believe that we have the greatest country in the world, but to do that, we've got to kick some ass of politicians on both sides. It's not a Republican issue. It's not a Democrat issue. We're all Americans. That's what drives me crazy. And it's mostly the Republicans that do this. They just slam Democrats in the YouTube comment section. They constantly slam Democrats. And you know what? Homelessness affects both of us. What's so ironic about that is the homeless numbers we see today are a direct result of failed Republican policies. But pointing the finger at Republican or Democrat doesn't do any good whatsoever. I think people use it as an excuse to do nothing. The Democrats, that's their fault. They want them damn immigrants to come into the country. They should go to homelessness. See them, they're Democrats. They're causing all this trouble. That Nancy Pelosi girl, they're rotten, and we got to do something about them they're Democrats. You know what? It's not a Democrat. It's not a Trump. It's not a Nancy Pelosi thing. It's our thing. We got to stop the battle of Republican versus Democrats. It's the only way we're going to heal this country and fix all the stupid shit that's going on. Hey, Rosemary, I agree. Okay, let's stay away from the politics. Informed Pantry, thank you so much. Exactly. Stop the blame game. Stop the blame game. Peter, you're right. I mean, one of the first things of war is divide, then conquer. And, I see it in the YouTube comments, and I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm not. I think both sides are stuck on Oops, I think Rosemary or somebody just said no politics. Sorry, let's go back to homelessness. I think I saw Lady T in the house. And then there's William. Jessica, thank you. I haven't been across the pond in a while, so I forgot all my slang. Hi, Gerald. Thank you. I am an idiot. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, William, thank you so much for the generous donation. Myrna, we do. So I'm going to be putting up a video. I can't get to it today. I interviewed Jennifer from the Coalition on Homelessness. Uh, Amazing organization. They don't do anything without listening to homeless people. So I've always thought organizing homeless people for political action was challenging, and it is. Organizing anybody for political action is. And I talked to her about it and interviewed her about it. So I will hopefully get that up this week. Hey, Leonardo, I don't know who you sent in a video. You know, I'm going to talk about this because I'm sure it's happening now with Heather's video. I put up several videos last week. A transgender woman, African American transgender woman, a butch lesbian, Cooper, a normal looking white guy, and an older chronic homeless man. And everybody was on me because they want to donate money to the good looking white guy. Nobody wants to help the transgender woman. Nobody wanted to help Cooper. And a couple people did. They donated a couple $100. And Cooper is the next firefighter out helping other homeless people every day. And she's amazing. But you know, we judge things on our prejudices. And so, and you don't know if you're donating to somebody on invisible people. So I'm gonna lay it out here. I cannot, nor will I, because it's not responsible for me to put a GoFundMe link in every video. And another thing is the GoFundMe link really just helps you, the viewer, because you feel bad and you want to feel good. So you donate money to make you feel good. There is nothing wrong with feeling good. Absolutely nothing. William just donated through Super Chat. It made me feel good. It made him feel good. That's marvelous. There's nothing wrong with feeling good. I highly recommend being charitable, giving of your time, giving of your resources. And if you have some money, give some money to whatever cause it is that you want. But the guy's name was Vincent. He was the white guy. There's 100,000 Vincents in America. GoFundMe to Vincent is not going to get him out of homelessness. It's not. People need a regular income. They need a regular revenue stream. Now, people thought because he was a white guy and he looked halfway decent, that he would take their money and that he would get a bicycle or do something to get out of homelessness. You don't know that. You're judging it just because he's got white skin and doesn't look all ratty. That they think, oh, if I give him $25, he's going to make his life better. No, even if you gave him $20,000, it's not going to get him out of homelessness. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It was disturbing to me because, again, you have a transgender woman who's African American. You have a butch lesbian who's actually if I was going to judge anybody, Cooper is the one out helping other people, you know? On a daily basis, I thought people would donate to her for medical supplies and different things so that she could help more people. I really thought, and then gosh, everybody wants to give to the good looking white guy, you know? And I'm not trying to get any of you upset or feeling guilty or anything. That's the society we live in. And we have to change that. We have to, as long as we have those prejudices, where the other thing, there was a nonprofit that tried to do the GoFundMe for everybody. And if you were an attractive white woman, you made a lot of money. If you were an older African American, you made pennies. and they had to stop doing it. So this last week, everybody got on me about Vincent. I mean, I literally went out and looked for Vincent. So Vincent did give me his email, but until he returns an email so I can confirm that that is his PayPal, I'm not going to post it, because then people would be donating to whoever, right? So it took a while for Vincent to respond. And then when he did, I did post it, but everybody's on me. I was looking for Vincent every night. I still look for him a little bit when I'm out, just to see how he's doing. But even then, Vincent had his sisters. Uh, I mean, I don't know if it's Vincent had his sisters. I started getting emails saying, I'm Vincent's sister. Can we set up this and that and that? And I said, no, it's got to be through Vincent. You know what I mean? Did you see what happened in Philadelphia with the GoFundMe? I will never get between a person and their money. That's just common sense. It has nothing to do with homelessness. So, anyways, I think you all just log on to see me rant every Sunday. Is that it? When you go against creation and purpose, you get chaos. Not sure what there you're going there, Galaxy. Thank you, Raymond. So Christina P. Amanda got out of homelessness not because of the GoFundMe. She got out of homelessness because she did the work and she was able to. Now, we bought her a phone, and it was the phone, and she'll tell you this. She did the work. All I did was buy her a phone and a year's full of phone service. That's all I did. And then people donated to a GoFundMe. I don't know what she did with the money, but that didn't get her out of homelessness. She used the phone to get support. And because of her mental illness and her head injury, she was able to get on a vulnerability list, and they pay for her rent. See, without rent, now if somebody set up a GoFundMe where you're getting $2,000 to $3,000 a month. So a lot of people got mad at Erin because Erin raised $10,000 and she's still homeless. Well, the $10,000 came in over a year, right? There was like $2,000 or $3,000. So what am I going to do if I'm homeless? I can't go rent an apartment. I need, credit check and all that, and then first and last month's rent, and then I got to pay rent the next month. If I go into a hotel, that the money goes right away. Maybe I could stay for a month in a hotel. Because you get, when you do a GoFundMe, you get about a couple of thousand right off the bat, and then then you get like, maybe $20 a week, $100 a week. And over a year, she got $10,000, and people are like, why are you still homeless? Oh my gosh. She got to get out of homeless, you have to pay rent. And people believe, Amanda raised $24,000. Thanks to all you guys. Thank you for donating to her. That was great. It helped her. I'm sure she used it however she felt. The thing about charity is that you give without question, you give without strings. So whoever gave to Erin or Amanda or whoever, God bless you. You gave from your heart. But even the $24,000 that Amanda raised on GoFundMe would only pay for rent for a year, and then she can't work because she's disabled. So how does she eat? How does she, get clothes? How does she, the rest of life, So, and again, back to Amanda is an attractive white female. She raised a lot of money. Erin is an attractive black female, and she didn't raise a lot of money. So GoFundMe is not a solution. What GoFundMe does is it makes you all feel better. And that's fine. And if there is a situation like with Heather, I text Cooper and I said, you know what? I bet you people want to give to Heather. She got a bullet in her back. If she has a GoFundMe, I'll put it up, you know? So it helps. I'm not saying it doesn't help, but the idea that a GoFundMe is going to end somebody's homelessness is ridiculous. It's just not practical. If you want to donate an apartment, like with 10 years rent, yeah, let's do that. And if you want to really help Vincent or Cooper or Heather or any of the people on Invisible People, contact your legislators. Fight for affordable housing and more support services. I mean, you can't just pick Vincent. You can't just pick one person. There's a million homeless people that slept outside last night. They all need our help. Okay, we're at 45. I'm gonna wind down tonight because I got a lot of work to do. Last couple of minutes. I think next Sunday we're not gonna live stream because I'm on a plane till Seattle. And I won't be landing in enough time. I could probably do a West Coast version, but Lady T, thank you. You did. Thank you. Thank you. And it was so funny. They were on me about they wanted to donate to Vincent so bad, and they don't know Vincent. And it's funny. I know Erin. I talked to her today online. I know Erin personally. I've hung out with Erin several times. I don't know Vincent at all, but they're comparing the two. And I can tell you, Erin's a good person doing the best she can to survive homelessness. I assume Vincent is, but I can't prove it because I don't know him. So. So, Monica, there was a little bit of that. I agree. What Vincent had some clear assets that seemed very reasonable. That was part of it. Monica, you're right. A part of it though is too that he didn't look homeless and that he was white. But you're right, because he had asked for a bike and some things, and people thought, well, he just needed some. But you know what? I don't know Vincent. He could have been lying. He could have been telling the truth. I don't know. I really don't know. But people are just the point of Invisible People. And thank you, Monica, for bringing this up. Is to get all of you to help all the homeless people to end homelessness, not to just we can't just electronic panhandle. That's what GoFundMe is electronic panhandling. We can't just electronic panhandle one person and think that we're going to have a solution in ending homelessness. We need to end homelessness for everybody, the Vincents, the Coopers, the Heathers, the Johns, the Pop, all of them. Hey, Rosemary, have a good night too. Yeah, Brenda, that's another thing. So many people um, um, really don't look homeless. And you brought up another thing, Monica, and you're spot on with that. Vincent cried. And if you cry on camera, that people they feel that and they want to take action. And you're 100% right on that. So it was a combination of his looks, what he was asking for, and that he broke down and got emotional. You're spot on, Monica. And my point is, it's great if people want to give to Vincent. I hooked it up as soon as I can. But we got to end homelessness. The thinking that I'm going to send $25 to Vincent, that it's going to help him get off the streets is a nice thought. There's probably a better chance of getting hit by lightning, you know? And I'm just, God, if, you know what? Here's the deal. I do everything in my power every single day to help end homelessness. If a GoFundMe link on every profile would help that person get off the streets, I would do it. I would. But it's irresponsible of me. I mean, there's some people that just, I'll tell you, there's another Jennifer on who I happen to know. And I knew her quite well, and I knew she was still partying, right? So MTV called me, and she's pregnant, and she's still, doing drugs. And MTV called me because they saw her video, and they wanted to give her $1,500 to do an interview, and I wouldn't connect them. And I told the producer at MTV, I said, you need to teach yourself something about homeless people, because if you gave Jennifer $1,500, you would have killed that baby. She would have gone out on a party that would have killed that baby. Some people just cannot handle. I'm off the streets 24 years, and I'm not great with money. I mean, some people just cannot handle cash, and it would be irresponsible of me just to be that pipeline, unless there's a little criteria that I go through. If the person has a support system, if there's outreach workers, or like Cooper with Heather, Cooper's a grounding person. If there's somebody there that can ensure a large sum of money is not going to do damage in any way, and there's a lot of ways that, then it has to be the money goes directly to the person. I don't want any go-between. It can't be a friend. You know what I mean? So many times people, especially elderly homeless people, get abused for their SSI check. You know what I mean? I'm not going to have anybody, like, it was really weird that Vincent's family, supposedly, I started getting these emails that they wanted to set up a GoFundMe. And I said, no, it has to come from Vincent. And Vincent sends it to me. Yes, but I don't know who you are. So it's not just black and white. Yeah, there was another time when I was in Los Angeles, and I was actually homeless in a homeless program. I don't know if you remember the movie Earthquake, but they came in and they saw one of our friends that was in recovery, and they saw him playing basketball. They wanted him to play basketball in the movie. They gave him a large sum of money. We never saw him again. He went out and partied. I mean, it's just so. Anyways, I'm off to Seattle next, then Denver. I'm off to Seattle. I don't have a lot of time in Seattle. I have some time, but in Denver, I'm going to have lots of time. So if any of you are near Denver, Leonardo, good night. And I am going to wrap this up. We're about ready on an hour because I've got a lot of stuff I need to do to finish up the work, to get on a plane, to get back to see my mom, to make sure everything's okay. Anyways, so King of YouTube, Vincent is connected to his family. I received emails from him and his sister. So I am, and I've said my piece on all that. Okay, I've said my piece. What I would suggest is giving Cooper $2,500, because Cooper's going to use that money to buy medical supplies to help other homeless people. So if you have that much to give, the better investment is Cooper, in my opinion. Anyways, I think the world of you guys. Thank you for hanging out this Sunday. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do next Sunday. I will let you know in the community section. And you guys have a marvelous week. Probably see you in 2 weeks. Bye.